Let me start with a small confession. I grew up as what people like to call the smart kid, the one teachers called on when the class got stuck, the one that felt a rush of adrenaline when the teacher asked a question no one could answer. I had made a rule about intelligence, that being smart meant being fast and correct. Now, this definition worked pretty well, until recently when a machine showed up that was faster and more accurate than all of us. Most of you have probably heard of AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini. If you haven't used any, here's how they essentially work. When you ask a question, whether it's about coding, math, planning, it gives you an answer almost instantly. And it's not just a guess, but an educated, informative, polished answer. For someone like me that loves building things on a computer, this is really exciting. And honestly, deeply unsettling. You see, a couple years ago, I was sitting at my desk at home, working on a small coding project. I was frustrated because something wasn't working. I stared at the same error message for what seemed like hours. I looked through tutorials, blogs, forums, every single fix the internet had to offer. Still nothing. Eventually, I gave up, and I pasted my code into a certain tool I'd heard about at that point in time, ChatGPT. Within seconds, it found the bug and rewrote parts of my project. It made the logic cleaner and added structure I hadn't asked for, or even thought of. I had spent the last 3 hours looking at the same lines of code while it took the machine just 3 seconds to tell me why I was wrong. Now, it didn't feel like cheating, but it did make me pause and think. If ChatGPT can already do this, what exactly is my role here? And that question didn't just apply to coding. According to scientists at Stanford around 5 years ago, when AI was first starting to quietly grow, it had around 40% of human capability in tasks like language understanding and math. Today, AI surpasses the average human benchmark in those tasks and is continuing to grow. I mean, if intelligence in general is measured by speed and accuracy, machines are going to win. And that realization leads to a very natural question. Has artificial intelligence now surpassed human intelligence? Well, before we answer that, we have to ask something different first. What do we mean by human intelligence? Does it mean raising your hand the fastest? Always being correct? Well, to help us better see this, let's look at this comparison. The straight line represents AI. It's clean, efficient, from point A to point B. It's kind of perfect. And that squiggly line? That's us. You, the human mind. It starts here, it loops around, it's tripping, trying again. It's messy, uneven. But notice something. That squiggly line covers so much more ground than that straight line. And if you think about it, in reality, that's where our breakthroughs live. Our human mind doesn't think in straight lines. Our minds wander. And in that wandering, we discover. Look at that. That's a face, right? Sort of, maybe, I don't even know. The nose slices across the side of the head, the eyes are pulled in a different direction, and the mouth looks like it's been crying and screaming at the same time. It's wrong in all the ways a textbook says a face should be drawn. When Picasso first painted The Weeping Woman, people thought he had lost it. That's not how you're supposed to draw a face. That's not how you're supposed to paint. And yet, that mistake of a face is now one of the most famous paintings in the world. Never in a million years could I have imagined that face, and neither could AI. Because AI can only remix what already exists. It can't surprise itself. It can copy Picasso's brushstrokes 1,000,000 times, but it will never have the moment of shock that birthed the first one. That moment, that flash in a human mind, when beyond logic, creativity starts to show. Maybe that's what makes us human. Not the neatness of our thoughts, but the ability to turn them upside down. Well, take that same idea into a laboratory. In 1928, Alexander Fleming comes back from a short trip, and he notices that one of his petri dishes is ruined. There's mold growing all over it. Now, the obvious move is simple, right? Throw it out, clean up, start a new experiment. An efficient system like an AI that's trained to keep the data neat and the experiment clean would do exactly that. Fleming doesn't. He pauses, takes a closer step, and has one quiet thought. That's weird. He notices that the bacteria on the mold are dying. And instead of cleaning with a mistake, he follows it. He asks, why did this happen? Now, that single question led to one of the most important medical breakthroughs in history. penicillin, which we're going to save billions of lives in the future. And that's the same squiggly line, not a straight jump from problem to solution, just someone willing to stay with something that doesn't make sense yet. And it goes back to that rule I grew up with, where I thought that being smart meant being fast and correct. Raise your hand first, get the answer, move on. But when you look at Picasso's painting, at Fleming's Petri dish, you start to see something different. That maybe the people that really change things aren't just the ones with the right answers. They're the ones who don't rush past the wrong ones. So what does this mean in a world with AI? Well, it means that I want to go back and talk to that kid I started as, the one that thought being smart meant being fast and correct. And I want to tell him this: when your code breaks, don't rush to fix it. When the results look off, don't skip past it, because those moments, the error, the confusion, the mess, aren't a setback from intelligence. They are the work. And AI will always take the straight path. It's clean, efficient, predictable. But the true discoveries that really change things don't come from that linear path. They come from the detours, from the mistakes, and from choosing to stay with your squiggly line. Thank you very much.